Housebets slash Bad News Kangaroos. They were called Bad News Kangaroos back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the Addict and Hazard era. So very, very different kind of roster. So not really much to sort of take from that. But yeah, definitely a comfort territory again for both these two teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I I'm really looking forward to seeing if you're going to get out from Housebets just because of how close that previous one was. It was, one of those showings where I think for me, for Housebets, they'll look back at that and be kicking themselves like they didn't take it, right? And I think for Rooster, there's probably part of it is a bit of a sigh of relief that they kind of dipped off in form towards the tail end. So if they can get a strong start on the CT side, they're probably cooking a little bit. I haven't checked in about a month or so, but last time I did, this map was about 52% CT sided. So it's pretty even. It's one of the more even ones, which does mean that a strong T side can really take the reins of Inferno in a similar vein to what you see traditionally on Anubis. However, we didn't. It was actually primarily the CT sides who kind of at least looked a little bit more comfortable. The T sides are very scrappy.
Yeah, definitely we'll be looking for a 2-0 tonight, though, if we're speaking from the Rooster perspective. And hasn't started off so poorly to jump into that B-bomb site. Omni getting one tiny, another trade, and then your Wombat and Damio sort of locking it down. Rooster are actually hightailing it over towards the A site, and a lot of this is really going to have to come down to what ASAP can do here. If he can find Apoc Dud and get this entry cleanly, yeah, maybe a 2-on-3 post plant could come into play. Has spotted him out, and that's a nice couple of quick taps in there. Apoc Dud will drop. Issue, of course, is going to be Chell may find some difficulty finding frags here. So let's see what he can do. If he can get one, maybe open the door up a little bit for ASAP. Really will come down to these USP shots, do you think? And so far, so good for ASAP with that initial and running out of bullets. It's always going to be a problem. So pistol round, not great for Rooster, but they at least did get that bomb plant.
Yeah, I was going to say, from the situation they were in, actually getting a bomb plant out of that, it kind of feels like a bit of a mini win in itself, because even that, with how the first engagement went, getting a bomb plant really felt like a luxury to them. So they get that small thing, and they can now buy around this as well. It's pretty common to, of course, force in off the back of those sort of bomb plants. Yeah, you can go in towards Mac 10s, Galils in some cases, and with the buy being okay over towards Housebets, and with them being more than happy to force buy CT, I would expect it, but judging by it, it looks like we're not going to go for an investment here. Not even, I would say, not even upgrading some of the pistols. Thankfully, finally, we do see it at the tail end. So a couple of tech knives picked up, one hero AK. I don't mind this hero AK buy. This has become very, very popular in CS2.
Yeah, and TJP's going to be given a bit of space, actually, in Banana. They are allowing him to creep his way up. No flash available for Rooster to set him up over that half wall. And in fact, the flash is going to come back from Housebets as Damio looks to clear it out. It's going to take a fair chunk of damage, but this will be where the AK could get tossed across. Goes over to ASAP. Unfortunate for Rooster that the only other player with any armor to speak to is also down to half HP. So yeah, that could have worked out a little bit nicer, but going to have to make do.
Yeah, not the worst sort of engagement though at the start. Gained a bit of information. They've obviously peppered down one a little bit. They've got to be careful of Cubby. MP9 swings, it could mow them down, and yeah, there it is. There it is. That was oh so easy, and the smoke is actually perfectly played too. He knows that he can't really afford to cross anymore, so smoke will give him the luxury of that. 1-for-1 trades. AK's got to go huge and can't. Only goes for one. Chelios with the 50 goes back to try and pick up the AK, and that actually cost him his life. So 2-0 start for Housebets. But that wasn't a force. That wasn't a full buy. Rooster should be getting a semi-decent sort of investment in here.
We'll take it. Orbs out again early on in the piece for Apoc Dud. See where he wants to set himself up. Gonna be over towards A. Not a particularly fast peek into mid, if any at all, honestly. It looks like it might just be over towards dig side. They're going to go for the boosted peek. But not spotting too much, and so disappearing into the safety of the site instead. Meanwhile, Rooster taking it slow, as you want to do often on the T side of this map. Simon's going to have a bit of trouble here, but the flash is coming over to assist him, and in fact TJP is there as well. So Good recovery from Rooster in what looked like it could be an awkward situation. They've actually come away with a couple of opening kills in this round.
Yeah, this is an awkward fight. I don't like this. Oh, somehow going to make it work. The left IP, it somehow works in his favor. Then how is TJP hitting that? Basically, just as he lands, he's connecting with that shot. And well, this will be a bomb plant. At the very least, that's already something to work with. And they've got the numbers in their favor. Rooster, we shouldn't be losing this sort of a round.
I mean, if we're Housebets, are we even thinking about going for the retake, honestly? This is Inferno after all, so just take a save, and we'll have to probably get pretty used to this.
This is what James has done to our beautiful game. But, no, you are right. Keep out of this for now, but the big thing for me is obviously keeping that AWP in play. That's just something you can't really afford to kind of reinvest back into or lose in this sense. I just question now how they want to buy around this, if they buy around this. My assumption is that you would, right? Because your Wombat can invest in where it's an okay investment. It can get sort of a semi-drop coming through on Oceania, so they might even just... I feel like you don't want to leave the AWP isolated, or vice versa. If you are going to opt to not buy, you've basically got to set the AWP up for guaranteed success or guaranteed survival. Basically, kind of gamble stack a little bit, have the AWP in a deep angle where he's not going to be sort of overwhelmed. They do opt to force. I think this is the right call for me. When you've got an AWP and an AK saved, I think you really do want to try and buy around this, because it is still a workable buy. All it takes is like one bit of, you know, a bit of a masterclass or something from Oceania or so, and who knows, this round's absolutely on.
Yes, it is. Damio charging down Banana with the MP9. He does well to get away with one and open up the door for your Wombat to grab another. Response from Rooster might actually be quick, though, through carpets. And Housebets are not set up to defend against that. The timing on that smoke is going to be awkward, and ASAP will jump upon it, though they won't be expecting a second player on the rooftop. Unfortunate for Rooster. This round has sort of just slipped away from them. A couple of minor instances go all right. Should be APOC done to clean this one up, but a bit of a whiff from him there. Maybe Chelio's just got the ping shield.
Yeah. They're going to try and make a move for this long play. Yeah. Maybe without the ping, he might hit dies. Crosshair was trained, but he probably dies before he even sees anybody on the screen. That Housebets, like I said, I'm a big fan of that decision to try and force buy back in around that. Works well. Works really well. Question being for me now as well is, can we get a bit of consistency out from the CT side now that the money's low? Can we start pushing towards the likes of kind of 5-6 rounds on the CT and give yourself really good foundations? At the moment, look great.
Might be a fast play into Banana this time around from Rooster. Need to proceed their entry to sandbags, and that hasn't slowed down at all. Damio, very nicely done. Gets himself 3. The flash comes through just a tad too late to save him. But overall, he'll take a 3 for 1, regardless of the circumstances. And a quick rotation across from the rest of the Housebets lads. We'll keep Rooster at bay in sandbags for the moment.
Oh, nice shot. Makes up. 4-4. Chelio's got himself an M4 here, but I'm not expecting heroics, and I'm being completely honest, it would require something masterful. And he gets spammed down through the smoke regardless. Easy stuff. See that round over, and only the one casualty. Honestly, not that bad at all. I think Housebets are in a pretty decent spot, generally speaking, right now. 4-1 up. A healthy lead that they've got in their favor, and I think obviously playing with a lot of confidence too. This is sort of exactly what you want to be seeing. A side who are feeling and sort of playing confident in that sense, and it's impressive. They're becoming quite difficult to deal with.
APOC done. He's going to have a bit of a look-see, and that's a nice shot. In the meanwhile, Slimy's gone down as well to the nade, so Rooster are really struggling to get anything going on this T side at the moment. This is, I would say, honestly, looking worse than it was at any point on Anubis. Yeah. I mean, there was a string of rounds definitely for Housebets in that first map, but this is looking like it's really dominant actually from Housebets, and Rooster might be struggling to even have any success in this first half the way things are going.
Yeah, at the moment, Rooster look very much on that back foot. They are not in a tough, not in a good position. They're in a tough spot, and I think the way things have been going so far, if this continues even for like just a couple, like this gun round and the next gun round, that already could be the half, basically as a bit of a write-off. So, yeah, not a good spot you want to be. Rackham to get a kill, wants to try and change that now. It's like he's going to be sent in first here. Can he break the deadlock of what has been a tough start for him? Finally, he does get his first. There's a trade going towards Damio. Second behind it is there as well. So a bit of luxury given over.
Plant is successful as well. But Chell not able to get safely away from the fountain, which will leave Rackham with an almost impossible clutch 1v3. Not even going to come into play, really. Omi will lock it down, and 5-1 is now the scoreline. Housebets, I think they'll be kind of kicking themselves a little bit for dropping map 1, and it seems like they've come back here into Inferno with a bit of a point to prove, and it certainly is being proven at the moment.
I think now as well, for this Rooster side, is there maybe a conversation to have, you know, with such a close map number 1, and then finally kind of closing it out and all the rest, that they kind of come in towards this one and maybe just a little bit too confident, a little bit too kind of laissez-faire in this sense. And Housebets have done a really good job of just making sure that they don't take their foot off the gas. They know how close they were. So yeah, tough position. Grace waiting for a pop flash. There it is. Swings behind it, doesn't spot anything. Needs to be careful of second mid. He might have heard ASAP as he was kind of barreling down second mid to try and get up in towards apps.
Yeah, there's been that extra player planted over on the B side, though, from Housebets. So A side looking a little bit weaker as far as the defenses are concerned. And maybe Brace goes down at brackets there, or Omi only gets one on push out from Carpets, or maybe even none. Then you're going to have problems. Brace, though, he's having a good night. That's another nice spray down. He catches the head of Rackham with the sort of late couple of bullets. Does at least keep the numbers healthy for Housebets here before the retake is going to have to ensue.
This is tough. Smoke out towards Moto. Makes things very difficult here. Not got a lot of space to work with, and time is starting to tick as well. Thankfully, kits in hand. 3 of them. Lurk smoke out towards long. That gives them a bit of space here to work with. The orb is sort of stuck. So he's basically just going to be a supporting util element as the rifle's not the swing in. 1. Jellios spamming for the second as well. He should get caught in transition. He does. The pit player who's still getting kills in the flames, and it might just be enough. I think it is enough as well. Time is not enough. I don't think he's got this even with the kit. It's close, but no cigar for Brace. And that is well played. In the flames. Wins out the round, and Rooster, they needed a hero. My God, they get one.
ASAP is really having to step up tonight for Rooster, isn't he? He did the job on map 1. Crazy KD he was able to sort of rack up, and now again he's leading from the front for Rooster. Gets them their second round. 2 is definitely not enough to feel competitive at this point in time for Rooster.
I think you're right. I think realistically, I probably want to see, I mean, on any given day, somewhere in the region of 5 on a T side is actually seen as a workable T side performance. But unfortunately, that actually does feel like a bit of a luxury at the moment. I think with how things have started, let's say 8-4 would be good. I'm surprised. I think he kind of flicks off him in a way.
Maybe just a little bit of a jump scare moment. I don't know if you get those, but I do get those sometimes in games where I'm like holding a line and then someone peeks and I just like, it's like a nervous twitcher, you know, like you just get a jump scare. Could be something like that. I don't know. Either way, not ideal, obviously, for APOC Dud. And no attempt at the trade from Omichella. He's in fact sort of just backed up and decided to play a bit more of a standard setup there on A. It is going to be the 3-1 split from Housebets, so sort of conceding some territory over toward B if it comes to that. Holding their strength on A, which may well prove to be a good choice. Damio may become critical in that position in the cutout with the MP9. He hasn't actually been cleared out by any of the util, and the swing's actually going to come through as well. Nice flash from Omi. Damio tucks himself back in the corner, and this is now where the crossfire established is going to work out really nicely for Housebets. That is perfection on the brackets hold. You've got to look at that one and say, he's done a really good job.
Oh, nice little reaction there from TJP. Those are short plays. He's already through the Molotov too, so there's that information to gain. It's more just about, is there another player here up close? Are you waiting? ground. Long play found. Oh, hang on a moment. With the Ramo. Glock pulled out. And it's messy. It's laboured. But Oceania will get there in the end. He was made to work for it. And thankfully it is taken. But it is going to be a big round for Housebets. They guarantee bare minimum a tied game heading in towards the second half. I mean, that is, for me, brilliant. And then in the sense, I mean, the way they're playing right now, I said it would be nice to see Rooster get at least 5. It really does feel like it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, they're having to work really hard every single round, aren't they? And they're not converting them. Tag timeout from Housebets as well. I wonder what the reason for that is. You know, you'd look at this and think it's probably time for a Rooster timeout, if anything, but...
Yeah.
Bit of a conversation maybe to be had for Housebets. You know, I suppose money's pretty low. Economy-wise, they do need a couple of clean rounds here just to solidify things in this first half. So, having a conversation about what are we expecting from Rooster here? Is it going to be the pistol armor buy? You know, where's their money at? What are we going to do to make sure that we can keep our economy healthy? Because, look, if Housebets lose this round, that's a disaster. Rooster's right back into the half. If Rooster gets maybe a bomb plant down and it comes down to 1 or 2 guns alive for Housebets, then that still is going to be a problem for Housebets. So they're up 6-2, but this half can still go back the way of Rooster if things play out poorly for Housebets in the next 1 or 2 rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, true, man. It's a real tough spot that we're in. Oh, Tech 9 though can be scary in the right hands. Do get top banana control. That's good information to work with. And it's not something they have to commit to either. This is a good spot where it basically just baits out a lot of CT util in the early part of this round. And now forces an engagement. Molotov going to come down to slow them down. Damio going to play just in front of that CT smoke. If he misses a shot, he can just dip away into it. So it's sort of perfect in that sense. He's setting up for a pop through. He's waiting for them. Playing in towards water.
There's a couple of flashes here for Chell. Smoke's going to get tossed across as well, and the flash fully catching the B defenders. Now they're in trouble, doubled up behind Nubox, and Slimy will take them both down. Oh dear, Housebets just got themselves into all sorts of trouble on that B side. They were kind of caught in transition, caught on the timing, and as a result, we'll have to just save these 3 guns. There's no chance in this round anymore.
No, not at all. Honestly, really well played. You know, they dropped, there's a smoke of their own dropped over towards that sort of top banana position. They just wait behind it. Works really, really well. And Rooster, these are the sort of rounds that I think they actually need. In a similar vein to kind of what they did in that first half. They need rounds like this, which are percentage-wise, quote-unquote, against them. And, well... does work in their favor. The exits could be pretty spicy here too. TJP will get himself one. Doesn't upgrade a gun though. I think he would have liked to have got a kill and then potentially be able to pick up an upgrade of a weapon, but in the end, with a Tech 9, it's not exactly the biggest loss.
Definitely starting to see the negatives crop up out of that one from Housebets, though. I mean, 2 MP9s now, 5-7. And Rooster back into the Buyers Club. So this is where it can fall apart for Housebets. It's been looking like a pretty dominant display so far, but as is ever the case between these two teams, always a pretty competitive series, if not map. Actually, funnily enough, between the two, we've seen quite a lot of blowout maps in their more recent matches, but they're generally considered to be a pretty close affair. I think we're getting a bit more of that tonight. This one's faster from Rooster as they work their way into brackets and then even start to have a bit of a look around toward Archside Library. Not going to get all the way in toward Moto. They have drawn the push out from Banana and TJP. Perfectly set up to wait for that. That's pre-planned from Rooster, and Slimy's really starting to turn on now. Last couple of rounds have looked good from him. Brace, though, going back to that Anubis form, is maybe catching enough members to keep this one in the balance for Housebets. Your Wombat's going to have to win the 1-on-2.
It's not easy. It doesn't really have any information about where they're set up, and the fact that they're playing that kind of 2-split, 1 through bulk, 1 on towards truck like that, Very difficult. All his attention is now going to be drawn towards Mini Pit. He might need to check it towards Balcony, and he does actually react up, but it doesn't make a difference in the end. Just a big round, and they're starting to chip away at this deficit. Only 2 rounds of difference to see off the end of this first half. It was at one point looking like we could be talking about them really being at such a massive deficit that it's basically done and dusted, but like I said, all I'm really are wanting from them is 5 rounds of the seaside, and a very good chance of it, especially considering Housebets have no money.
Yeah, it's really slipped away from him, hasn't it? And a desperate play to go charging down middle with the USPs. Maybe just wanting to get that one over and done with pretty quick, smart. Very, very good salvage from Rooster, and they may well end the half at a 6-6 scoreline. It's going to be money for rifles for Housebets, but it'll be lacking a bit of util here and there. No, obviously, no head armor. Maybe defuse kitless round as well for them. Brace is going to, in the end, decide to pick one up. Just the one defuse kit here. It is, but yeah. It's not what you'd want, especially after the start that Housebets had. To be in a position like this, it's not ideal.
And the one thing that really worries me about this buy more than anything is actually the lack of util from Housebets. Actually, for the most part, right? They've got kind of 2 pieces or so each, right? I think that the big issue with this is that Housebets have been using a lot of their util very early to gain map control, which is good, right? For the most part, it's good when you have reserves. They don't have reserves, but they actually will get one completely unpunished. ASAP! Like ships in the night, they just go past each other. I can't believe both of them sort of get away with that. Then Brace gets away with one. The USB is pulled out as Rackham gets caught. What is happening here?
I don't know. Maybe Housebets making amends for things. ASAP has got a job to do once again. It sort of falls onto his shoulders. Bomb will need to be retrieved. Might have to be a mission for Chell. I think ASAP's going to have to go on hunting duty, and he's doing just that, but it's going to be tough for him to find that timing in onto your Wombat. So in the meanwhile, it really just falls down to Chell now. 1v3. Did get the opener, but pretty hard to imagine he's going to get this one done based on what we saw on Anubis.
All right. The ping he's got feels pretty unlikely. Would actually be something quite insane if he was able to do it. He's just going to go through the smoke because he has to. He's on time. Oh, and he will get caught. Just his shoulder spotter, but it's enough. 7-5 Housebets at the turn of the half. Not bad, but we'll see if they can continue it after the break.
back on into it for the second half here between Rooster and Housebets. And look, 7-5 scoreline, you'd think that's not too bad if you're Housebets, but honestly, the way it was looking, it could have been a lot more. I think they had a 6-2 lead at one point and sort of fell apart at the seams for a little bit in that first half. Still, though, they do have the advantage, and they're looking to at least end the night with the 1-1 scoreline after Rooster picked up a 13-11 win on Anubis.
Yeah, this is in the same vein to how Anubis, I mean, you know, both the halves of Anubis were both 7-5s, right? I think, you know, the thing is, these two sides, they do have such a close nature about them. It's so back and forth in terms of the momentum. It's so difficult to call. And even something as simple as taking a pistol could be the difference. Race just doesn't even look in towards Boiler. Gets so tunnel visioned in towards short there.
Bit of a problem, maybe. Housebets have gotten their way into the B-bomb site, so still can be considered not a bad start to the pistol round. Yes, it'll be a 4-on-5 post plant, but B-bomb site, definitely possible to hold this one down with 4. The issue for Housebets is going to be they haven't really been able to get anyone off the site, so it's a very one-dimensional hold. 2 players in dark, 2 players behind new box, and basically comes down to just hitting your shots at this point as Housebets. And there's the first from Omichella. Needs a little bit more assistance. It's down to Damio, and surely he's not going to have enough against 3. So in the end, the team that hit their shots was, in fact, the CTs. And so now we're on for a real game here. Rooster want to make sure that they get the 2-0 tonight, because their position inside of the playoffs is actually in jeopardy depending on how the rest of this season goes, which is not normally something we'd be saying for a team like Rooster at this point.
No, it's true. I mean, looking at it, if we're being completely honest, they're a side that, if you told me, you know, obviously recently second place in the quals for the RMR, which obviously doesn't get them to the RMR, but it's still not a bad spot in general. And then obviously going towards Pro League, for example, all these things, it makes you just assume and expect that they're going to be in that kind of top 3 minimum or whatever. But the real issue is that about a pretty middling season. They were 5-5 coming into this game. Now, of course, 6-5. They sort of need to go 7-5.
Sap locking it down nicely. Little 1-2 punch there between him and Rackham. And this force buy from Housebets has not really amounted to a whole lot. Not even really a huge amount of economic damage at all. Only 1 gun loss, and hopefully a Galil to be picked up here somewhere. Yeah, M4 taken by TJ as well. In fact, overall, it's maybe a win for Rooster.
Yeah. Altar square. That one not working out as well. I mean, obviously, the bump on into the force buy is a pretty standard thing to be going for. But yeah, losing it in this sense does now give Rooster a bit of room to work with. Don't have a bit of a tech pause here, though. Everyone's in the server, so you know, if it was going to be anything, I do wonder whether it would be kind of Chelios, for example, but he seems to be moving around as well.
I mean, I think in the case of Chel, you kind of just have to
accept it,
take it as it comes. You know, you kind of you have to accept it. You just have to say, well, yeah, I'd love to take a tech pause and figure this out, but the reality is there's only going to be so much I can do if I'm playing from Poland. But yeah, it could be on the side of Housebets again, potentially. Not sure.
A bit of typing, you can hear it. There's got to be some, I mean, it's probably something small like loss, which, you know, is normally fixed in a minute, like that. So, here's Yaz. Now we get to see on the other side, what is the response in these next few rounds out from this Housebet side? Because they are now getting on the back foot. Weird situation that we're in.
A bit reminiscent of Anubis, where it was a fair bit push and pull throughout the middle stages of the game. So again, kind of getting that vibe, but that is nice from Chel. You'll take it. Kills with the MP9 especially. Building that cash up on the CT side. Oh, okay. He gets a little bit too eager and will be put to bed by Apoc Dud, but overall still pretty good progression in this round so far from Rooster.
All right, down to 3. You're 1 back. Needs to pick up. I was gonna say needs to pick up a gun. He does. Let's get one in the end. Moves down second mid. Deagle scooped up. Brace Looks like he's going to be contact. The P250 catches ASAP. That's big, but then Brace, as he contacts here, out, he'll get caught. Molotov down as well. This should be wrapped up for the most part pretty cleanly. Flash is good as a Rackham. It's forced to dip back a little bit.
Your Wombat low on HP, hoping to see a mistake come through from one of the Rooster members, but not sure that he's going to be getting it at this point. He's going to, in the end, have to be the one to take the peek, and if you're just going to shift walk around a corner like that on 20 HP, Slimy's going to put you to bed. So 8-7, Rooster will claim the lead for the first time on this map. Question now becomes whether or not Housebets is going to be able to relinquish that back.
Yeah, it's true. All right. This lead for Rooster's good, though. Honestly, they're starting to quite rapidly close down the kind of the gap to the finish line. And they're not too far off now. And the thing for Rooster is that a lot of teams do find a lot of comfort on this CT side. That they goes the okay chunk of damage on towards Brace and your Wombat, but not really enough to kind of phase them all too much. Early setup seems to be primarily taking the second mid control and then working from there, with Banana, for the most part, just sort of being relinquished over towards Rooster. They drop very good early util, so it makes it quite difficult to take.
Shells floating all over the place with the AWP at the moment. Housebets looking to clear out some space toward A. Dig side looking pretty good. But the actual presence is going to be maybe towards the B side of the map. Clearing out sandbags now with the assisting flash coming through from Apop Dud. Rackham goes for a big old swing around the corner. Talking of assistance, ASAP and Rackham helping each other out there. The flash in from ASAP, and then secondary swing as well. It's pulled Housebets down to just 3, which means they have to force their way into this B bomb site now, and that has not worked out at all. Still one more member there, and cleaned up easily by TJP in the end. 9-7. That is another round for Rooster, and they are starting to look better and better on Inferno.
Yeah. Okay. At the moment, Housebets, they are drifting out of contention for this. Obviously, they're kind of in this kind of rinse and repeat cycle. It's full buy-in, lose the round, and also for the most part, so not going to bomb plant, not have the money to work with, and then eco in towards the next, or kind of, you know, upgrade the pistols a little bit in towards the next. I mean, it's just one of those things where at the spot that they're currently in, unless things rapidly change and basically they can win one of these sort of low-buy rounds, I think we're just going to be seeing off a pretty clean one for Rooster at the moment. They're in complete control.
Yeah, Housebets don't have much to work with in this round. Pistol's armor, though, can do the job. ASAP's put himself in a risky position here, but the flash is going to come through and set himself up nicely for the kill onto Omi, plus one onto your Wombat as well. He'll have to be aware of another player walking his way forward, and it's lucky for Housebets that Brace is able to get that kill because he's carrying the bomb. ASAP gets one more there. That's the round over. Still in with a chance as a result of that kill, but it's not a good one.
Oh, hang on a moment. Down to a 3 versus 3. 2 guns collected. This is a little weird. Yeah, B's open. As long as the bomb can escape here on the back of Brace, they're chilling.
No, they're coming back to A.
Oh my god, what are we doing? But it's an
I think that kill that they got has kind of baited them a little bit. That they think, okay, well, we've gotten 2 kills on A. We've killed the guy in Carps. We've killed the guy on Pit. Best case scenario, there's probably one player here on A. Would be the assumption. TJP might have been considered even an A player there, and you'd be thinking there's 2 players on B still. So they think this site might be clear, and that is going to be a real big problem. First shot will miss, but Slimy, good for 1. Needs more, can't get it done, and it'll be still saved by Housebets in the end.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, for me, you know, it's just the unfortunate thing with Chell on an AWP on 250 ping. I was basically going to say that this is basically a 1v3 for Slimy, and he has to try and utilize Chell as a bit of a human flashbang. And, yeah, unfortunately, he does sort of use him, gets the first, but he just can't get the second and the third behind it. It's a wild one, but I said, Housebets, if they want any chance of getting back into this game in terms of how the momentum of the game feels, they have to win rounds like that. And hopefully they do. Flashbang banks over. Will give them second mid control. They're going proactive here. Nice response from Rooster. Lose a round to a bit of pace. Get active yourself. However, Slimy gets caught. And TJP's been spotted here. He's probably dead, but somehow they can't even tag him.
He gets out scot-free, and ASAP's actually going to re-aggress through bedroom. Hasn't quite found the timing to catch Omichella initially, but with Omi now making his way up through carpets, there's still a world where ASAP can get some work done from behind. Push has been spotted into the B site. Now this is a round which has layers upon layers, right? Like, it's what Omi can do from behind, what can ASAP do from behind. The Housebets consider Banana clear. Nice shot from Damio. Bringing it back slowly but surely. Your Wombat comes into play now as well, and there we are. Omichella has found his striking position. So Chell will have to save the AWP, and Housebets are going to bring this back to 9 apiece.
Yeah. Chelios, keep hold of this AWP. I don't think he'll be hunted here. I mean, they could go for the hunt, but I just don't think he'll be checked in this position, so he should be alright. Good work, though, from Housebets. Really solid work. These last couple of rounds, I mean, it just shows that that previous round winning on that low buy has absolutely spelled them off. Really nice spot that we're going to put ourselves into. So, 9-all, tied square. I mean, in a similar vein, we had the full 24 rounds in that previous match, and this could be more of the same here. Brilliant work. And I've been really enjoying as well on the other side about how things have been kind of developing of Housebets, starting to find their own confidence. I mean, again, right, they get this sort of CT aggression coming up towards them in that second mid, and rather than sort of succumbing to it and just giving it up, they actually get back in their face and say, if you want to fight us, we'll give you the fight, and they hit their shot. So, good on them, man. The good reaction off the back of it too, to start taking control in other places. That's an interesting decision, though, from Chelios. Jumping above the smoke, it's an easy kill for your Wombat.
Housebets getting on top once again. It just never stops going back and forth. This series continues to be a tight one. Slimy has got the AWP in hand. He's on his way over toward A. TJP might be able to get a work done with that M4. Has a smoke as well, so could he maybe clean up one or two here, get a smoke down, escape back into B? That'd be the ideal scenario. Not sure the Housebets is going to give him that opportunity, though, with their spacing looking pretty good here. He might line up one, maybe two, but the trade has to surely come through. He does very well to even get that headshot onto APOC done. You can't ask for much more from TJP, but when you sort of ask the question, is that enough? I still think the answer is no.
Yeah. 2 remaining. And open a P250. It's a wild ride here to try and expect this one to be converted. I think it's safe to say Slimy's going to be keeping hold of this AWP and not giving this a go. Even the best AWPers in the world would struggle with this sort of a retake. So this one's not getting off the ground. Alrighty. Housebets. Lead taken. However, on the other side, lead was taken at one point in towards Anubis, and then they let it slip right at that tail end as we saw that form come back from Rooster. The issue is with Rooster, though, mainly is that their money has been fluctuating so much, is that they're constantly in this really awkward situation for them. So yeah, I don't know, tough spot that we're in, but I wouldn't even mind seeing attack pause out from Rooster. Just have a little bit of a conversation.
See what happens. Double digits secured for Housebets, though. I mean, as you were saying, a pretty 50-50 kind of a map at the moment in the current landscape, so not too surprising to see him being able to get it done on both sides of the map. Yeah. We'll go again. No attack pause this time from Rooster just yet. Still got a little bit of leeway to play with, I suppose.
It's true. It's not all doom and gloom just yet. It's a nice nade, actually. Banks perfectly to the cranium there of your Wombat. He'll still keep their confidence up as he looks towards top and arms. They got this control. Again, this is something that Housebets has been doing quite well. Take a bit of second mid control, whether it's passive, which they've gone for this round, or very proactive. And then obviously banana control too. They've got the two main areas that you need to work with, and then it's just about trying to piece apart the puzzle of what this CT side setup's looking like. And for the last few rounds, I mean, they've had a really good read on Rooster.
Definitely seems that way. I mean, this is going to be another really punishing round to lose if you're Rooster, and this might just be the map done and dusted. I mean, yeah, like 11 for Housebets. I suppose Rooster will have another crack at it. One more gun round if they lose here, but it's definitely starting to look pretty dire. So you want to be seeing Chell get something special going with the AWP. It's a tough ask. ASAP's on this side as well. Possibility for a wrap to B with this smoke setup. Something that Housebets are going to have to be aware of as well as Rooster. Chell spotted them working their way out from the apartments, and Brace's position could become a key in the end, especially now that ASAP has fallen. It prompts Chell to try to make something happen, and in the end he just goes down. So it'll be a save for Rooster, and if they can keep these 3 guns alive, that'll definitely help. Because money is not looking good.
Rough spot though. Housebets further and further away. I mean, the thing with 3 staying alive though, and the loss bonus that Rooster have got, they can buy back into sort of... It's going to be a little bit awkward, but they can still make something sort of work around this. But this is Housebets very rapidly approaching taking this map, which, you know, going for 1-all in terms of the match or the series or however you want to call it, I don't think it's actually too bad. I think it feels actually relatively fair. Map 1, 13-11. This one obviously going the distance, but then going in favor of Housebets. They both take a map apiece. Does feel like a bit of a handshake in a sense because of how even this game has been. It's just more when you look at the ramifications of it in a more sort of macro sense of how actually desperately Rooster need these wins. They, you know, if they want that playoffs contention, they've got to basically take in sort of every match they can.
Down to a UMP for Chell. How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah.
It's from an AWP to a UMP, but it do be like that sometimes. Housebets are not messing around with the banana take this time. Lots of nades going back and forth. In fact, it's probably a little bit more successful on the behalf of Rooster. Housebets not too prepared to slow things down. They take a lot of space in banana, but they don't actually get an opening pick.
Brace playing the anti-flash angle. There's common flashes. War not catching there, but he's got that little edge just in front of his head. Molotov going to come over smoke. It doesn't. It does actually bank on the ledge. It looked like it was just about to miss, but thankfully it settles itself. So they got that full CT smoke, which catches the booster player on plant pot, but still, they also smoke themselves. Usually to break through it. First, 1, 2, Slimy looks for 3, can't quite find it, but TJP goes huge of a 3K of his own, and my god, did Rooster need that.
Alright, that one might go back to the drawing board for Housebets. Might not be seeing that again. But it has given Rooster a little bit of a opportunity back into this game. They were sinking into the quicksand pretty quickly, but they've been throwing a branch. Reinvestment, of course, from Housebets. They have enough to play with. Another close scoreline right here, and Chell's got the AWP back again. That one picked up off the ground.
All right. It's again. Minute banana. Early controls taken. Housebets last round didn't actually work out well for them, though. Where do we go from here? Seen time and time again about how things have been so back and forth between these two sides and where we've been as well. It's hard to call, very hard to call.
That'll be hit again. Brace just trying to find a timing and contact, but unable to. The shot from Apoc Dud goes missing as well. Housebets have kind of given the game away. Rooster will be well aware that there's a setup outside of B at the moment. And TJP is going to be dumping his util. Try and keep that one at bay for now. Housebets going to try and go through it. I think they are. Nading open that smoke. Damio to lead the charge. Flashes in there, and the result very much the same as the last round. They've tried it again, and it hasn't worked. Housebets have to go carrying back away. Unless Brace has something to say about it. Headshot there, and bomb plant to go down. It's still a 4-on-2, which is a tough ask for Housebets, but maybe Brace and Apocdud can do something special right now.
Yeah, it's true. Speaking of, ASAP. Down he falls, but a response coming through. Shelly, but there was just too many bodies, too many places to look. And it will be a successful retake. Rooster tied this game up, and once again, the full 24 rounds are required to decide a victor. Maybe even and some at this point as well. Rooster, in a similar vein, though, we saw this from Anubis. Right at the end, they find their form, and we saw them kind of hit at the post. There's the Housebet side who looked on track to winning that match and then let it slip. Don't let it happen again, surely.
Yeah, that would be painful. Back to back. 2.4k loss bonus for Housebets. Isn't going to put them in a great position if they do lose this round. Lots to play for, but Apocdud quick up in through middle. Just looking to clear out brackets. Chell out the gun barrel, and he catches Damio. Oh dear, don't let it happen again here, Housebets. But they are slowly but surely allowing it to fall over to Rooster one more time. Maybe 13-11 on the cards. It's a 4-on-5 here in round 23. Project that extra player across the Rooster, and they have left it onto just TJP, but Chell is getting it done.
Fair play. You know, basically a pre-fire there around that corner. He makes it work. Down ASAP. He's in trouble here. How has he got away with that? How has he not been punished by Army? And obviously, that's going to change things up massively now. 2 versus 5. I mean, surely no chance there. The 2 players boosting above that smoke. Over towards Banana. They might even just triple swing this on timing or freebie. Even with the lag, he has time to set himself for that. And it's a flawless one for Rooster. What a round to be taken. And the fact that it's flawless as well has massive ramifications. Look at the really awkward financial state the Housebets are in. I mean, even getting out an AK and armor, I think I'm right in saying is a near impossible situation for more than one player. I don't think your Wombat can do it himself. He can't. So, yeah, only one AK coming through. This is really tough.
Yeah, it's really, really dire. Really dire for Housebets. I mean, these were 2 winnable maps, and it might end up just being 2 maps that they've lost. And that will be Rooster, not obviously solidified back into playoffs contention, but definitely going a long way in getting there. Taking 2 maps off of Housebets, who is currently sitting in 3rd for this season of ESL Challenger League Oceania. It's not done quite yet, though. Rooster have done the hard work to get it here. Just need to kick that ball over the line. Can it maybe be off the AWP of Chelios once again? He's gone exploring under porch. 2 players coming out through boiler. It's the high-low setup for Rooster. It's a particularly good setup in dealing with a push like this one, but ASAP's been left high and dry. The flash will catch him, and Shell's on his way out. In the meanwhile, but Rackham, sharp shots. Gets 2, keeps it alive for the moment. Chell needs to duck his head down, can't survive, and now it's on TJP, retaking alongside Slimy. Molotov might actually get a kill onto Apocdud. We'll see how it spreads. Doesn't look like it's going to go far enough. TJP hunting desperately for a kill through that smoke, but won't find one, and this is where it now gets difficult.
Yeah.
Russian smoke out.
This is awkward, dude. Towards back corner. Spot. Drop. Close. Popping up. TJP, what is that? What is that from TJP? A 1 versus 3. Take a foul, Sunshine. How has he walked away with the 2nd? Never mind the 3rd there. And Rooster walk away with the match. They steal the best of 1 right at that final stretch.
He's done the exact same thing on map 1 and map 2. It's a 3v2 retake post-plant to win 13-11. And he gets all 3 kills himself. That was an insane second shot. Well, it is what it is, I suppose. If you're Housebets, they probably shouldn't have allowed it to get to that point. And they did, and they've got no one to blame but themselves, really, because they were very much in control of that map of Inferno, but there was definitely moments where they were in control of Anubis as well, and it turned